To be so spiritually disturbed by a video game. I wonder what the gods would make of such tomfoolery. What is it, dear lamb? You are in need of my counsel? Then let us begin by listening to the wise words of the most benevolent gods. Can I clarify what you mean by that statement, dear lamb? I must profess that it was not my direct intention to be there for you in particular. I go only where the whispers guide me. Perhaps the whispers were drawn to your sense of justice. If I were to offer my humble opinion, it is perhaps one of the purest I have ever seen. And to your sins you have confessed, before everyone, gods and mortal alike. Justice is not merely something to be measured by the quality of one's actions. Perfection simply does not exist in this world as the gods have created it. Why strive to achieve what the gods themselves hath decreed to be impossible? Yes, dear lamb. Goodbye, dear lamb. I presume you would have to reserve that question for a resident psychic, assuming you haven't already asked. But please understand this. His actions lie with him alone. Nothing more, nothing less. I fear you shall be disappointed by the sheer simplicity of my answer. Ever since I was young, I have lived with the pain of suffering, both through myself and vicariously through the lives of others. Do you know what I have come to realize in that time, dear lamb? Our greatest enemy comes not in the form of some malevolent god, but in ourselves. Since the day I expunged my own demons from my soul, I have felt a certain clarity. That is why I think it is important to make peace with yourself. If everyone was able to do this of their own volition, then perhaps even something like my staff would become redundant. But perish the thought. It is nothing but an outlandish fancy.
Tetris. Why'd it have to be Tetris? Oh, hey Nat! What brings you here at this time? Hey Nat, I must know. Are you a gamer girl? I see. Can't say I'm surprised. Just thinking to our gaming session from earlier. You were low-key carrying your team a few times. Emphasis on few, BTW. Most of the time you were just feeding me ult charge. Yo, Natalia, About the trial. I'm good if you're good. Wow. You make it sound like we were lovers or something. That was all a joke, BTW. Yep. I was just kidding about knowing him. Anyways, let's not talk about the trial anymore. Okay, I changed my mind. There once was a point in time where I was winning every 1v1 match I was put in. MOBAs, FPSs, RTSs, it didn't matter. Everyone else was a noob, and I was the king of video games. Or so I thought. One day, this kid in my class walked up to me. "Let's see if you can beat my high score in Tetris," he said. I had no choice but to accept, of course. The result was what you saw in the room today. Well, I can't even stack a single row in Tetris. Wow. I did not expect to hear those words coming from your mouth. Nothing. Let's just say that gaming means more to us esports pros than any old person could ever understand. And you're borderline old as it is. Is that true, though? Keck. Big words coming from someone who can't even left click half the time. Wow. You really go for the jugular, don't you? I should verse you in a fighting game sometime. Don't think this is over, Nat. By the time we escape, I promise you, I'll have beaten you in a straight 1v1. I swear it on my gamer tag.
Oh, you're still here? The office closed hours ago. That's not a door. It's ajar. Okay, ma'am. Why are you here? Do you have an appointment? Okay, just Nat. What do you want to talk about? Hey, it takes skill to be a successful troll. Nah, that's Eden's thing. Yeah, being related is okay, I guess. We don't really talk much, though. Yeah, let's go with that. Beats me. I have a question. What's it like being a warden? I see. Dumb choices, huh? They're the things that upset customers, right? Ah, that's unfortunate. Groot. Hey, Nat. Would you mind if I start referring my customers to you? For rehabilitation? Huh. Yeah, true. Forget I even asked. It's okay. I can think of many things they'd be guilty of. Sorry. We don't accept returns. That's fine. If they're talking to you, they can't also talk to me, right? Don't worry. I'm just pulling your leg. I don't have to deal with that many customers anyway. But it's interesting to see that you agreed so easily. I'll keep that in mind for future reference.
Spending the afternoon digging through a mess of Tetris. Today gave me serious flashbacks to my childhood. Oh, just listen to me reminiscing about Tetris here. I'm sure you have other things you wish to discuss instead, yes? Let's go for a stroll. Say, Natalia, why would someone like you want to spend time with me? I mean, I'm boring, utterly unremarkable, yet I'm taking up time you could be spending with someone else. Really? I don't know what to say. Do you always psychoanalyze everyone you meet? At least let me make you a coffee for your troubles. I was just about to head to the cafe anyways. Now this is the life. Kinda reminds me of my first job. Did you know I used to work as an ambassador? So many diplomatic necessities involved there. I'll take that as a no. It's a little known fact about me since it was very brief. A mere blip on the radar. I was very young when this happened. It was before my parents ever found out about my singing. And it barely rates a mention on my Wikipedia page. I'm sure we all do. Have you never tried Googling yourself? Yep, being an ambassador was great. I got my own key card and everyone was so nice to me. There was free food wherever I went, and I got to rub shoulders with some of the most powerful people in the world. And the ultimate pianist would drop by every so often, too. We both traveled a lot, you see. Him to his concerts, and me so I could represent my country's interest. But then the questions started coming. What's your country doing on this issue? When will your country start fixing that issue? And on they went. It was as though I was being suffocated. I could only ever toe the country line. And that meant I could never change anything. Yet everywhere I went, all I saw was devastation and pain. What's the point in running things on talent alone when it causes nothing but misery to so many people? And that's when I decided I would quit being an ambassador and cause change to happen from within. But to you, I probably sound like I'm spouting idealistic nonsense. Thank you. Say, Natalia, I was wondering, do you think that tolerance can exist? If it tolerated the intolerant? I'm honestly speechless you would think that way. I thought better of you, Natalia. It's not the most straightforward thing, is it? It's asking if true tolerance can exist. If we also tolerate things that shouldn't be tolerated. Yep. What do you think? I see. I guess I should have expected this response from the Ultimate Warden. Well, thank you for sharing your views, and for listening to me. Couldn't have said it better myself. Say Nat, do you have any immediate plans for when you're made head of the law enforcement family? No. When? You can't move forward with a defeatist mindset. Wow, that sounds tough. It seems we'll both have our hands full. But somehow, I feel more confident knowing you'll be there by my side, as a fellow world leader.
Kids these days with their weird Tetris obsessions, why can't we obsess over something more normal? Like what the next McDonald's burger will be. I wasn't expecting a visitor at this hour. But let it not be said that I would turn away a patient in need. What seems to be the problem? Isn't it obvious? It was my arch nemesis. What do you mean? No, Nat! Don't fall for it! It may look like a good thing, but being a doctor takes up all my time. I could barely keep up with the latest burgers. It's very kind of you to offer, Natalia. But my arch nemesis, they're not someone who can be easily found. I've searched long and far, but they always seem to be just out of my grasp. But enough about my arch nemesis. What did you think of my burger? But you gave it your tick of approval. Hold on a second. You've tasted roadkill? What else could it have been? Come to think of it, I've been trying to recreate the Sinner Sandwich from Deadly Premonition. The goofy music my arch nemesis puts on is very distracting, though. Subara? She? I suppose you've made your sentiment clear. That's 1 point to me, arch nemesis! How do you like them apples? Come to think of it, Dash didn't seem to like it that much. Rubbing it all over the carpet probably didn't help the flavor, you'd think. Very well. Allow me to make a promise. The next time we have a club meeting, I'll make a burger so good, it'll knock Dash's socks off! It's a promise, then.
A room which purports to show your deeper self. I wonder if mine too will involve video games. Ah, Natalia! I apologize for not noticing you sooner. Say, Natalia? Have you taken an interest in me? Really? A partner? You flatter me with your words. What business do you have with me? Surely it is human convention to have something in mind when approaching another. Scanning. Really? I've known that human convention can be rather spontaneous, but to this degree? Very well. Both my logical and emotional drives seem to be developing nicely. I don't know how I can explain it. It's as though I'm beginning to feel more relaxed. But then the gears finish spinning. And I realize I'm still an outsider, a robot without a purpose. I beg your pardon? But Natalia, I am a robot. A robot needs purpose. It's what gives us the sense of structure we need to continue with our programs. Thank you, Natalia. I can sense you are trying to cheer me up. I wonder about that sometimes. I already rely so much on you all, and I'm scared. Scared of what would happen if that connection were to be severed. I'm sorry, Natalia. I need some time to think this over. That is correct. Why do you ask? Natalia! Searching databases for bookmarked information. I was kidnapped along with the rest of you, despite not being a candidate. Perhaps I was simply mistaken for a candidate. Then maybe I traveled with one of you as a domestic servant. Then, while my master was being kidnapped, I kicked up such a fuss that the kidnappers decided to take me too. Hero. Okay, how about this? What if...
This supposed insight into the subconscious. Could a single room truly capture the essence of the human soul? Well, look who it is. I have a few theories about the way the room could feasibly work, if you would care to listen. So, what do you think? Let us begin with the first theory, that the room is based on a form of advanced brain scan, and this scan is somehow able to capture repressed memories and desires, then transpose them into images. I'm afraid that's not my area of expertise. I deal with social sciences, Natalia, the way people relate to each other. The fundamental rules that govern society since well before the advent of technology. Then there's the next theory, that the room is a placebo of sorts, made to deceive us into thinking that what it projects is related to our subconscious. But in turning our minds to it, it then becomes ingrained into our subconscious. I suppose the sociological equivalent of that would be the self-fulfilling prophecy. Fascinating. You seem to have a rather advanced understanding of human behavior, Natalia. Such strong intellectual principles. How admirable of you. Quite right, quite right. That just leaves us with... What? Where? You're not wearing a watch. That's a good one. That's a surprisingly valid theory. How long were you holding that in? You've left me with plenty of food for thought. I'd best be on my way.
I'll be honest here. I'm kinda worried about Zeke. Well, if it isn't my favorite warden, would you like a general reading? It's on the house. Not necessarily. But the stars can be rather fickle, you know? What did you have in mind? The Divine Eye has been stubborn in its refusal to provide us with anything meaningful in that area. I'm not surprised it still hasn't changed. It's complicated. The easiest way to think of it would be that the terms are interchangeable. But the Divine Eye and the stars are not one and the same. Sometimes the Divine Eye seems especially attuned to the stars, other times it isn't. Many things. The past, the present, and the future. But long story short, I can use both the Divine Eye and the stars to try and gaze into the future. It's helped me change the fortunes of the poor and destitute on many occasions. Besides, even if I can't see anything, that room's supposed to have us covered. The bi-caramel room, was it? Just wondering, what do you make of that room exactly? Low blow, Natalia. Really low blow. Aye. Sometimes fate operates in mysterious ways, doesn't it? I bet I'm beginning to sound awfully like Levitica, aren't I? I've got nothing against the girl, don't get me wrong. She just has this certain air about her, doesn't she? I guess for now, all we can do is buckle in and see where that room takes us.
Comrade Zeke continues to amaze me. With the never-ending skeletons in his closet. Oh ho ho! Let's see some backbone, comrade. You're really good at this, comrade. I was getting to that. Work on your technique and you should be fine and dandy. Observe! What was that? But your technique with everything else is flawless. How is this even possible? Preposterous! Let us do it again. From the start now. We'll continue these exercises next time. I'll see if I can devise a simpler method for teaching it to you. Isn't it obvious? I want all of my slaves to be in perfect working order. The Great British Empire demands it. Okay. Dismissed. Comrade, do you not know what dismissed means? Oh, you do? My apologies. I shouldn't have been so selfish. You. Do you have no sense of self-preservation? Very well. But I'm only doing this because it's you, comrade. Talk, comrade? About what exactly? There is one thing. Have you heard of the Spluncian Explorers case? The precise facts vary depending on the version you consult. But here's my favorite one. 5 explorers are trapped in a cave. There are still 10 days to go until they are rescued. But in the meantime, they are sure to starve. So, they hold a lottery and, based on the results, one of them is killed and eaten. Have they committed a murder? And, if so, should they be judged accordingly in the eyes of the law? Ah, so you're a Justice Tatum. A reasonable response, given your position in the executive. Very well. Thank you for indulging me, comrade.
A room which reveals the subconscious? I wonder if we should really believe in something like that. Very good, ma'am. Would you care to share your thoughts on the topic? About earlier. Could ma'am explain why she gave Phoenix's meal a pass? Phoenix's meal. Why did you give it your seal of approval? What was so special about it? I see. And how exactly did it taste good? Really, ma'am. I noticed several. Dozen. For nearly everything everyone does, there's someone out there who does it better. When it comes to tasting things, I'm really no different. Very good, ma'am. Did I tell you about the origins of my coffee-making craft? There was an old man who owned a cafe where he served curry. But one day, tragedy struck. If I'm to admit, I think it left a lot to be desired. I could certainly see its appeal to the masses, but there were simply too many flaws to ignore. That was his reaction too when I brought it up with him. Yet, he never bothered changing the recipe after that. What an odd question for ma'am to ask. Very well, at least you seem serious about your question. He left me many things in his will, actually, including his cat. However, he passed the cafe on to his delinquent son. Yes, at the time I was wondering why he would do something like that. Was he simply blinded by the fact that it was his own progeny? But no, it turned out to be for the best. That episode encouraged me to work hard. It taught me that if I wanted to make things happen, I had to work for it. In a way, this may be what he was trying to teach me all along. Yes, but it's no longer a cafe. Yes? What? Ma'am, please understand that I can't fulfill your request when I don't understand what you're saying. Cat? Indeed, he did. He left it to me in his will. Where did this sudden interest in cats come from? You like cats? Let's see. He named his cat Human. A bizarre name, yes, but he was always weird around animals. However, the cat only responded to Mew Ghana. That's what I called it instead. To say I was saddened by its passing would be a gross underestimate. It was as though I was facing the death of my compatriot, the ultimate baker, all over again. Yes. With Mugana gone, there was no one to meow incessantly when I was awake past midnight. I shall take my leave.
Hold it! That Tetris game was objectionable on so many levels. Nat. Come to confess, have we? I just knew you had to be a robot. Inconclusive. We have more pressing matters to deal with. Like the fact that you're brazenly trying to get into my pants. You heard right. I told you to collect other people's underwear, not mine. How awkward would it be if I could only steal my own heart? It would be like going full lethality and having no one to... Never mind, what do you have against full lethality anyway? Not like this! You're actually begging me? Please stop. I could get used to this, damn it. What are you gonna do? Wait! But if I gave you my underwear so easily, it would imply that I'm loose. I have standards too, you know. You'll have to do me just the same as everyone else. Do me.
Zeke and his video games. What a typical dumbbell. Well, if it isn't my favorite support. Shall we perfect our strategy for the next club meeting? Whatever do you mean? I think I understand the source of your confusion. I fear your assumptions about my style are fundamentally flawed. Writing about such subjects as petty theft, it all comes quite naturally to me. If you don't ever have to deal with something as debilitating as writer's block, I think you'll find writing to be a deliriously simple art. A simple question, and it begets a simple answer. My computer would crash every time I made any meaningful progress on a murder mystery. The hard drive would then proceed to wipe itself. Those would be clean too. Yes, it seems I am cursed never to be able to type a murder mystery. The ones I've released have all been penned by hand. It was simply too slow. That was around the time I started thinking seriously about forging a career in petty theft. Of course, as a writer. What is your opinion on the matter, Natalia? Do you think in order for a story to be interesting, someone has to die? Well, can't say I'm surprised. You are a warden after all. So you're of the opinion that death is preferable in some genres, but not in others? Oh? Have you not read Romeo and Juliet? Quite right. But I've always found that tale. Fascinating. Shakespeare's well known for the deep insights he provides into the human condition. But I think he also reflects the fascination with death that lies dormant in us all. Just look at the way that death has creeped into every genre nowadays. In the modern world of literature, is anything safe from death? And you truly believe this? I can't say I particularly expected that. Especially coming from you. That reminds me. When we next have time, would you care to look at the transcript of my latest novel? I've been working on it in my spare time. There is a reason for it, of course. But for now, farewell.
A room that shows us our true selves? What would the viewers make of it, I wonder? This just in. We have breaking news. A source has just approached our reporter, claiming to possess crucial insider information. More on that at 6:30. And cut! Yes, Nat? What have you got for me? Not at all. Some of my best information has come from idle conversation. Oh, what's this? Do we have an anonymous source leaking information from inside Marza Lager? Not many people know that my father is the ultimate golfer. How did you come across such an obscure detail? Pops. I don't think I'm someone to be proud of. When I first became a journalist, I swore to fiercely pursue the truth, no matter what it was. Even if all the other stations ended up with more views, I wanted my time slot to be an enduring vestige of truth. Would it be perfect? No. But what I did want was to create a place where people knew they wouldn't be lied to. Say, Natalia, would you report the truth for the greater good? If you knew it would hurt someone you love, or someone who trusted you? You're right, of course. But it just doesn't sit right with me. The idea of painting myself as this paragon of virtue by committing firmly to the truth, but then achieving this by compromising the people who trust me. Don't you think there's something wrong with that? Sorry, Natalia. The fault lies with me, not you. I shouldn't have got you involved with my doubts. And therein lies my dilemma. The classic journalist mantra is to report dispassionately, with no regard for your personal feelings. And it seems the truth doesn't care about your feelings either. Have you noticed, Natalia? Compared to the rest of you, I'm in a rather unenviable position. Right. Journalism is a communication media. So it'd probably be Zeke's turf. I might have to quit being a reporter altogether if we become world leaders. But hey, at least I won't have to deal with all these dilemmas anymore. Ah, the classic no comment. Dare I ask why? What a magnificent response! I'm seriously impressed, Natalia. A mighty shame that wasn't recorded. That would have been the best interview, believe me. Sorry, force of habit.
Wow, people sure take their video games seriously, don't they? There's more to life than Tetris, you know. Ah, hey Nat! What brings you here at this time? Actually, it doesn't matter. Do you need anything fixed? I'll do it in a jiffy. Sup? Everything's fine and dandy. Thank you very much. Basically 2 people, double the trouble, double the fun, right? Don't worry, Nat. I've got Miyu to keep me company. She's so calm all the time. I wonder how she does it. Yessie! What I've seen of her programming seems to support that theory. She's definitely special, that's for sure. The code's so complicated. Staring at it for too long gives me a concussion. There's something big buried in there. I just know it. Yep. Who needs the bicameral room when we've already got one in the shape of a robot? Not gonna lie. We need all the information we can get our hands on right now. Sure, it's risky. But what's life without a bit of risk? Whoa, Nat! That's a seriously scary philosophy. Surely risk doesn't always have to translate into danger, does it? Wow, like water off a duck's back. You're a strange one, you know that? My, ever the cautious type, are we? But right you are. Risks are what make life interesting. But they're also what makes life dangerous. We really gotta learn to manage it if we want to keep moving forward, I think.